The front lever is simple, except it's fucking hard. Yet, I still unlocked it at 17 years old with the knowledge you will be blessed with in this guide. For this will be the only video you ever need for unlocking the front lever, making it as comprehensive and beginner-friendly as possible. So before I start shoving progressions and exercises down your throat, we need to know how the front lever even works in the first place. The front lever is possible through two physiological terms known as shoulder extension and retraction. The primary muscles are the lats, rear delts, traps, and rhomboids. In simple terms, your back muscles. These are the primary movers of the position, while your core keeps your spine straight and your legs up. With all that in mind, before you think you can grab your pull-up bar, give the finger to Newton, and simply ascend, it's a little more complicated than that. For the position to be classified an actual lever, as it's called in physics, your arms and your body must maintain a straight line from the shoulder while in the position. This means locked elbows, the intention of retraction and depression in the shoulders, and engaged core and straight legs. Obviously. But even with all of these in mind, the front lever can still be a pain in the ass. And that is why we have progressions. Progressions are steps of increasing difficulty to gradually build strength in the skill in the most specific way possible. If you want to see me break down the physics and theory behind skills like the planche, the front lever, and their progressions, I highly suggest you check out this video right here, link in the description. For skills like the planche and front lever, there are typically 4 milestone progressions: the tuck, advanced tuck, straddle, and full. But once you get to the third progression, you have a bit of a crossroad. You could choose to train straddle, or the controversial one leg, or the forgotten middle child, the half lay. We don't really talk about the half lay. Each progression has their own set of pros and cons while still being relatively similar in leverage. However, suddenly jumping from one progression to another is extremely difficult, and that is why we have mini progressions. Mini progressions are steps between these milestones that help smooth the transition and serve as stepping stones as leverage slowly increases. Because it's about the little wins. Yay! These mini progressions are the half advanced tuck, super advanced tuck, the extended half lay, and you're kinda on your own with the straddle. What am I supposed to tell you? Close your legs a little more? Why are they open so far in the first place? Basic requirements to start front lever training are simple. The more strength you have in the primary muscles, aka your pulling muscles, the better, as well as some basic core strength. This means proficiency in pull-ups, rows, and static core exercises, but some experience in weighted pull-ups is highly recommended. Disclaimer: this strength will not give you the front lever instantly. These are merely the requirements to start training it. To unlock it, you have to actually train it. Once you've developed a proficient enough foundation of back and core strength to not hurt yourself, you can start training the front lever with this golden rule: SFIR. To teach your body to adapt properly and perform a specific action, your training needs to be as close as possible to the actual movement you're training for so it adapts the right way. This means static holds in the hardest progression you can do while keeping proper activation, and banded holds. You can also train movements with similar body activation and trajectories such as raises and pull-ups for reps, to further develop your pulling strength and movement adaptation. In other words, to learn a skill the fastest, you have to train the skill itself. While training and teaching your body new movements and skills, especially hyper-specific, strength-dominant ones like the front lever, you need to train it frequently. Just like riding a bike, your body needs to be exposed to the skill consistently for not only your muscles to adapt, but also your nervous system. With frequent exposure, your body will naturally develop more specific motor units over time, making the skill less fatiguing and learning proper form activation through consistent practice. In simple terms, to make any sensible progress in the skill you're training, you need to train it often. Disclaimer: skipping the skill entirely for 2 fucking months isn't a good idea. did I do that? Since we are training for a skill we are physically incapable of doing, meaning we lack strength, we have to train it with intensity. Intensity is typically measured by how far an exercise ends relative to muscular failure. By training closer to failure, we tell our body that it needs to develop more force output to perform this task by controlling load, how difficult the progression is, and effort, how far a set is taken to failure. To maximize potential load, train at the most difficult progression while keeping proper form activations. To control effort, take most sets near, if not to, muscular failure. However, to make anything of this training, your body must recover. This means controlling frequency and intensity to prevent overtraining and inhibiting recovery. While you want to train as frequently and as intensely as possible, make sure your body is recovering every session in order to make progress. This might mean training at a low frequency and low intensity until your body adapts to this new style of training through recovery, allowing you to increase frequency and intensity over time. This is called progressive overload. Moving from one progression to another is just about the most difficult part of skill training in general. Once you can hold your current progression for 8 to 10 seconds with proper form consistently across multiple sessions, feel free to move on to the next progression. No one has ever said they want to be the best in the tuck front lever. Move on. You don't need to train it until you can hold it for 20 seconds. To bridge from one progression to the next, try attempting it first. And if you can't hold it, either hold it with a band, utilize mini progressions to gain strength, control your diet, get 8 hours of sleep, etc., etc. And that is everything you need to know in order to unlock the front lever. If you're looking to unlock other skills like the handstand or even some beginner skills, I have other guides right here. And don't forget to follow me on my journey to unlocking all of these skills to provide you with the most comprehensive guides on the internet. Until then, gravity is just a guideline. See you around. Man, that was a mouthful, wasn't it?